Hello and welcome to our bulletin broadcast daily from Hanoi. Here are the main stories. President Trần Đại Quang hosts reception for the outgoing ambassador of Belarus. Vietnam News Agency launches press photography contest. Exhibition displays bamboo pump paper art. On July 5th, President Trần Đại Quang hosted a reception for the ambassador of Belarus who came to say goodbye at the end of his tenure in Vietnam. President Quang congratulated Ambassador Valery Sadukho on his successful accomplishment of his tenure in Vietnam. He said Vietnam will continue to pay heed to developing the friendship and cooperation with traditional friends, including Belarus. The Vietnamese state leader recognized the contributions made by the ambassador in consolidating the Vietnam-Belarus traditional friendship. He said he hopes that the diplomat will make further contributions to strengthening bilateral ties between two countries. Ambassador Valery Sadukho expressed his pleasure at the development of the relationship between Belarus and Vietnam. He said the two sides have completed the signing and ratification of the Vietnam Euro-Asian Economic Union Free Trade Agreement, and this opens up new opportunities enhancing economic, trade, and investment cooperation between two sides. According to the ambassador, the two countries' move to simplify the granting of visa has helped increase the number of Belarus travelers to Vietnam by 1.5 times. We'll have more news coming up next. Please stay tuned.
Vietnamese businesses have invested $7 million into approximately 40 projects in Japan. The information was released at a conference held on July 5th to further promote the investment. Japan is ranked 45th out of 68 countries and territories in which Vietnamese investors run their business. Most of the Vietnamese investments has been channeled into IT projects in Japan, catering to high local demand. Vice Chairman of the Japan External Trade Organization, Shigeki Maeda, also endorsed Vietnamese investment in the IT sector in Japan. He said Japan is implementing a program on training 10,000 Asian IT engineers, which is a good opportunity for Vietnamese enterprises and engineers. The Japanese government is reforming the local business climate in a bid to assist foreign investors, he noted. Vietnamese firms have so far invested about $9 billion in more than 1,000 overseas projects.
The Ho Chi Minh City People's Committee has suggested the Ministry of Planning and Investment include the monorail route number 3 into the list of public-private partnership projects in need of project development facility capital. The project is estimated to cost 8.4 trillion Vietnam dong, equivalent to $376.5 million. The monorail route has a total length of 16.5 kilometers, spanning District 12 and Gò Vấp District, with a depot covering almost 6 hectares in Tân Chánh Hiệp Ward. The selection of investors will be conducted through international bidding. The project is designed to build urban railway routes linking with other public transport systems to ease traffic jams, accidents, and environmental pollution in the southern largest economic hub. A detailed proposal will be made from now to the end of 2017, while a feasibility study, route clearance, and invitation of investors will be conducted in the next 2 years. Construction of the project is expected to begin in 2019 and be completed in 5 years. Vietnam shellfish exports to China recorded strong growth in the first 5 months of the year, hitting nearly $95 million, a year-on-year surge of nearly 73%. China is one of the 3 largest importers of Vietnamese shellfish, along with the US and EU, according to the Vietnam Pangasius Association. The U.S. remains the top importer of shellfish from Vietnam with $152 million, a rise of 12.9% over the same period. Vietnamese exports of shellfish to the EU continued to fall in the first 5 months. As of the end of May, exports to the EU decreased 8.1% year-on-year to $109.3 million. The four largest EU importers of catfish from Vietnam are the UK, the Netherlands, Spain, and Germany. Vietnam's catfish exports are expected to reach $1.5 billion by the end of the year, a drop of 5% from last year. Vietnam's catfish products are sold in more than 100 countries and territories. The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has asked for greater efforts to restore the growth of the agricultural sector, which is suffering from El Niño and climate change impacts. The ministry said in the remaining months of this year, the agricultural sector must focus on recovering from disasters and propose measures to maintain domestic and foreign markets. The ministry has recently urged its cultivation department to grow rice and vegetables on the largest scale and restore acreages of perennial trees following drought and epidemics. The Plant Protection Department is required to closely monitor disease outbreaks and suggest measures to ensure the safety of vegetables, tea and pepper, while the breeding sector will continue driving back the abuse of banned substances and antibiotics. The Directorate of Fisheries has established a working group in the south to closely monitor technical assistance for shrimp farmers and restore aquaculture in several provinces in the central region. The prolonged drought and stormwater intrusion have damaged nearly 250,000 hectares of rice, 18,960 hectares of vegetables, and more than 149,007 hectares of industrial plants. Over 288,000 households also lacked running water. As of May 20th, an estimated 1,355 heads of cattle were killed and thousands of others ran short of drinking water, while around 6,800 hectares of agriculture were damaged. Phu Quoc Island in the Mekong Delta province of Kiên Giang is hosting a map and document exhibition giving locals an insight into Vietnam's sovereignty over Hoàng Sa, known as Paracel, and Trường Sa Spratly archipelagos.
The exhibits include copies of documents written in Hàn Nôm script, Vietnamese and French by Vietnam's feudal dynasties and French administration in Indochina from the 17th century to the early 20th century. They evidence Vietnam's establishment, exercise, and protection of its sovereignty over the two archipelagos in the East Sea. Administrative documents issued by the Republic of Vietnam in the South from 1954 until it fell in 1975, and by the Socialist Republic of Vietnam since 1975 also demonstrate the exercise and protection of the sovereignty over Hoàng Sa and Trường Sa and other seas and islands the country owns. Some exhibited publications printed by Western countries from the 18th to 19th century are also proof of Vietnam's ownership of the two chains of islands. Among the maps on display, there are 30 maps published by China in different historical periods. They show completely that China did not control Hoàng Sa and Trường Sa, that it calls Si Sha and Nan Sha respectively. A copy of the map Partie de la Concession in Volume 2 of the 6th-volume Atlas Universel, published by Belgian geographer Philip van der Meulen in 1827, also shows Hoàng Sa archipelago under Vietnam's sovereignty.
The Vietnam News Agency launched a press photography contest entitled Golden Moment in Hanoi on July 5th.
At the launching ceremony, Vietnam News Agency Deputy Director General Nguyễn Hoài Dương said that after 6 years of interruption, the competition will be organized annually from 2016 by the agency in collaboration with the Vietnam Association of Photographic Artists. The contest offers a forum for journalists and photographers to reflect all aspects of society, ranging from politics, economics, culture, sports to science and technology, and show their points of view on hot current issues of the nation, he added. Entries can be single photos or groups of photos taken from September 1st, 2015 to August 31st, 2016. 1 first, 2 second, 3 third, and 5 consolation prizes will be awarded to single photos and groups of photos at an award ceremony scheduled for September 15.
An exhibition showcasing artworks made from chukchi, bamboo pulp paper, is going on in the capital city of Hanoi, providing visitors a chance to get a deeper insight into the strange but familiar art form. Vietnam's bamboo pulp paper art is a project studying handicraft paper, carried out by artist Phan Hai Bang and his colleagues. By innovating new techniques for the treatment of traditional materials, his team has not only developed this new form of art, but also looked to changing the normal notion of paper. With chukchi, we want to go beyond the story of paper. It has the same story with the river, which always changes in its nature. Through the display, we want to deliver a message of Silet's evolution of the bamboo pulp paper art. A new discovery of bamboo paper for contemporary creations is the way that artist Bang and his partners depict on chukchi. Originally, chukchi was the kind of paper made from bamboo pulp. Based on the traditional process of making the paper, Bang created a new type of art, chukchi graphy, in which artists create paintings on chukchi paper. This is the first time I have contemplated this kind of art. I know little about it, but through this exhibition, I can see the creativeness and skills of Vietnamese people. Having been present in Vietnam since 2010, chukchi created a new breath for the traditional paper. In the future, the project Vietnam's bamboo pulp paper art is expected to connect the bamboo pulp paper art with traditional craft villages in order to diversify products made from chukchi and bring them closer to the public. Condé Nast Traveler, one of the world's premier luxury and lifestyle travel magazines, has cited 3 destinations in Vietnam among 50 of the most breathtaking sights across Asia.
Accordingly, the northwestern town of Sapa in Lào Cai province is recommended as a base for trekking in the surrounded mountains, touring rice paddies, and visiting traditional villages and hill tribes. Tourists are suggested to visit attractive French colonial sites in the town and buy souvenirs and handicrafts made by various ethnic tribes in the area. Besides fresh and cool air, Sapa is famous for its fine rock scenery and for its rich cultural diversity, Condé Nast Traveler reports. The charming town of Hoi An in the central province of Quảng Nam impresses visitors with its narrow, winding lanes of the old port town, which are lined with beautiful old architecture, traditional wooden houses, and hundreds of tailor shops. Located in northeastern Vietnam, Ha Long Bay in the northern province of Quảng Ninh occupies 3rd place on the list, likened to a scene from a fantasy story with its thousands of limestone cast islands of different shapes and sizes. It is also home to 4 fishing villages composed of floating houses where the occupants made their living, and to 200 different species of fish and 450 kinds of mollusks. And that has come to the end of our program. Thank you for watching, and please join us again next time.